What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Week 14 of the NFL season has officially arrived for the Detroit Lions, and in Week 14 they are set to play host to the division leading and the division rival Green Bay Packers. Now, these teams played earlier in the season. However, much has changed for both organizations since the clash in Week 2. And as we do every week before a Detroit Lions game, we will be previewing this game, look at the stats, look at how the teams have been playing recently, talk about this matchup on both the offensive and defensive side of the football for both teams, and in the end, come to a conclusion about who the winner should be and how this game should shape out for the Packers and the Lions. Now, before we get into the video, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying this Detroit Lions content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it helps the channel out more than you could know. So if you could do that, just take those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But without any further ado, let's get into previewing this division rivalry matchup and get into previewing Lions versus Packers Week 14 clash at Ford Field. Now, as I said, it is officially Week 14 of the NFL season, and the Detroit Lions are playing host to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are looking to gain a little bit of ground on the New Orleans Saints for that first seed in the NFC, while the Detroit Lions are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive after a very impressive and very big victory versus the Chicago Bears a week ago. Now, the Detroit Lions, as I mentioned, are coming off a very big win versus the Chicago Bears, and with that, they are riding a lot of momentum. They are riding a huge wave of momentum into this football game, especially on the offensive side of the football. Matt Stafford is coming off probably his best game of the season, where he threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Very good by Stafford. He was sharp. He was really on. He was having a really good day. Again, probably one of his best football games of the season. He had 3 touchdowns, 400 yards against a very talented and very healthy Bears defense that was put out there against him. Not to mention that Stafford had a good day, but the running backs had a pretty good day as well, as Adrian Peterson was able to punch the ball in the end zone twice on Sunday versus the Chicago Bears, and including the game-winning score for the Detroit Lions. The offense on Sunday was really good for the Lions, especially against a very talented and very good and very healthy Chicago Bears defense that was number 4 in the league when we did play them. You know, Stafford was on, the receivers didn't drop balls, Stafford was looking sharp, he had a lot of deep balls, the offense was aggressive, the offense was fast-tempoed, it looked really good, and the Lions should take a lot of pride in their offensive performance from last week and ride that momentum and ride that, just ride that momentum into this week versus a very good Packers offense that they will have to go toe-to-toe with, and most likely they will have to outshoot and outgun this offense if they want to walk out the victors and if they want to walk out with their playoff hopes intact. Now, the Packers defense is no slouch. The Packers defense is not a bad defense. As much as we talk about the Lions having a great offensive performance last week, the Packers defense is not a pushover either, although it is significantly weaker than the Chicago Bears defense. Now, the Green Bay Packers defense on the season is 11th in yardage allowed and 15th in scoring defense. Pretty good by the Green Bay Packers. Not a great defense, but an average to above average defense, which you can't ask much more from when you have the best offense in the NFL. There's a reason the Packers are 9-3, and the Packers do not have a bad defense. They have a great offense. They have an average defense. I think the Lions should be able to put up points, but the Packers, very much like the Lions, are coming off a very impressive performance on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to last week's game for them versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, when the Packers played the Eagles last Sunday, they had a very good and phenomenal defensive performance. They had 7 sacks on Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. They had 1 interception. They only allowed 16 points versus the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They had a very good day. They got to the quarterback a lot. They got a turnover. They didn't allow points. They didn't allow yards. The game was never truly that close. And to be totally honest, the Packers defense, as average as it might seem from points and yardage, they've had a lot of really good performances this year. The Packers defense is no slouch. We can take advantage of this defense, but it's not going to be easy. Stafford should have another good day, especially considering that he did what he did versus the Bears defense. The Packers defense should not be a problem for Matt Stafford, but we'll have to wait and see. Sometimes Stafford's hot, sometimes Stafford's not. It just depends on the day and the football game. However, after one game in the Darrell Bevell era, it does seem that Matt Stafford is a little more aggressive. It does seem as though he's a little bit more confident. In one game into the Darrell Bevell era, Matt Stafford already has 400 passing yards and 3 touchdowns in his era. So, the offense looked really good last week. The offense for the Detroit Lions looked phenomenal with a lot of points, a lot of yards from both the running backs and Matt Stafford, throwing a lot of deep bombs, a lot of really nice passes down the field that put the Lions in scoring position. It should be a fun game. The Lions offense should be able to take advantage of the Packers defense, especially considering what they did to the Bears defense just a week ago. But again, you got to wait and see. We got to see what Darrell Bevell can cook up and pull out in his second ever NFL game as a head coach. And again, with that momentum, with the offense coming off a very good game versus a very good and healthy Bears defense, I expect a lot from the Lions offense this week, and I think they are going to need it because this Packers offense is legit, and it might be in contention for one of the best in the NFL. Now, as I said, the Green Bay Packers have a phenomenal offense. They are currently the number 1 scoring offense in the NFL, averaging 31.6 points per game. So throughout 12 weeks of the NFL season, they averaged 31.6 points a game. Last time we played them, they put up 42 on our defense. Not very good. The Lions ended up losing that game by quite a few points, if you did not know. And, the Packers are just all around a really good defense, led, of course, by their Hall of Fame quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, who is having a resurgence of a year as he has 3,395 passing yards, 36 passing touchdowns, while only throwing 4 interceptions on the season. I believe a couple of those came in the Buccaneers game as well. So, take out that one bad game from Aaron Rodgers, and stats look even better than that. So, Aaron Rodgers is on something different this year. He is doing really, really well. He's having a resurgence in his career after a couple down years where the Packers weren't doing so good. Obviously, last year he was still good, but the year before that and the year before that, he was injured. He wasn't really doing a whole lot. And these past 2 years, he has really stepped it back up to be the Aaron Rodgers everybody knew and all the Detroit and NFC North fans outside the Packers hated. Now, the Detroit Lions defense is not particularly coming off its best football game. They did allow 267 passing yards and 1 passing touchdown to Mitch Trubisky. They also allowed 3 rushing touchdowns on the ground last week versus the Chicago Bears rushing attack, and they did give up 30 points overall, which is not a very good stat, especially considering the Bears offense is one of the worst scoring offenses in the league. However, there is some positives to take away even from the defensive side of the ball. We saw the defense make a lot of adjustments. We saw them shift to more of a zone coverage, to more man in blitzing, which seemed to fluster Trubisky a bit more, seemed to make him a little bit more unconfident, seemed to make him a little bit more unsure, and that's when we started to get turnovers. That's when we started to get our 4th down stops. In the second half, although we did give up 30 points in the game, in the second half we did only give up 7 points, and that was in the 4th quarter, so we did shut them out in the 3rd coming out of half, which was really, really good to see. And obviously 7 points in a half is not a bad thing to give up necessarily. Not to mention that, but in the second half, the Lions also had 1 turnover with the strip sack from Romeo Okwara, which ended up being a game-changing play the Lions needed to take the lead and hold the lead. And then, of course, at the very end of the football game, the Bears go for it on 4th and 1, and the Detroit Lions defense, led by Kevin Strong and Reggie Ragland, rally to the tackle, rally to the running back, and they tackle him before he's able to get the first down. 4th down stop for the Detroit Lions, and they walk out the victors for the first time in a very long time versus the Chicago Bears. So, this game should be very, very interesting. The Lions are obviously having a very new head coach come in versus a very good Packers football team. The Packers, I believe, are 9-3 or 10-3 or something like that. They have a very, very solid record right now, obviously leading the NFC North, being the 2nd seed in the NFC Conference, only behind the New Orleans Saints. This team should be a very tough one to beat, but I believe the Lions can beat them based on what I saw with the offensive performance last week from the Detroit Lions, putting up 34 points versus a very good Bears defense. With the adjustments I saw last week from the defensive coordinator, although the game did not start very well, they ended the game very, very solidly for the team and were a big reason we were able to hold on and win and to have that really unlikely comeback versus the Chicago Bears. The Packers, again, best scoring defense in the NFL. Their defense is no slouch either. This should be a very fun and a very high scoring game. Both offenses are coming off great performances. Both defenses, the Packers are coming off a great defensive performance. The Lions are coming off a pretty good second half performance of the football football game. So both teams are hot right now. Both teams have excitement. Both teams have a lot to play for this week. The Packers, as I said, trying to catch the New Orleans Saints as that number 1 seed in the NFC North, while the Detroit Lions are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive for another week and hopefully sneak into that 7th spot of the wild card, as they are only 1 game away as of recording the video and as of Friday afternoon. So, this should be a fun game to watch. This is going to be a classic Lions versus Packers game. It's going to be Rodgers versus Stafford. It's going to be Swift versus Jones. It's going to be Bevell versus LaFleur. A lot of matchups to watch for, a lot of things to look for in this matchup. And, it should be a very fun matchup. It should be one that the Lions fans should look forward to. It should be one with a lot of points, a lot of scoring, a lot of excitement. And in the end, I think the Detroit Lions can walk out the victors. I think it may seem unlikely at the moment. It may seem unlikely with the powerhouse that the Packers have built over the past couple years, but the Lions are walking with a lot of momentum. The Lions are walking with a lot more to play for. They're walking with a lot more fire and a lot more fight and a lot more energy than the Packers are going to be walking in with, and I think they could make the difference in the defense. I think with the adjustments, with the difference between Matt Patricia and our current defensive coordinator in Corey Unlett, I think this game can go to the Detroit Lions, and I think the Detroit Lions will upset the Green Bay Packers. I think they will improve to 6-7. I think they will continue to keep their playoff hopes alive for yet another week, and especially if they are able to beat the Green Bay Packers this week, this should be a huge launching point for the Detroit Lions, and it should, if they can and are going to beat the Green Bay Packers, that will be a huge momentum swinger for the rest of the season, and this one game is the Detroit Lions season. If we win this game, then there's a lot of confidence moving forward for the final 3 games of the NFL season, and if we lose this game, then you can pretty much put a wrap, you can pretty much put a bow on the 2020 Detroit Lions season and send it out, because if we lose to the Green Bay Packers, this season is over. If we don't lose to the Green Bay Packers, if we end up winning, this season is still alive, and the Lions fans and the Lions team should have a lot of confidence moving forward. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. If you are new to the channel, as I said in the beginning, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It only takes 2 seconds out of your day to do so, and it helps the channel out more than you could know. So if you could do that, just give those 2 seconds to like and subscribe. I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But with all that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all tomorrow with more Lions content. Bye, guys.